Monticello Arms. Oh, hello, Mrs. Vollmer. Yes, we'll be able to extend your reservation for another week. Right. Bye-bye.
This is not only foolishness, Raven, this is utter madness. The last place we want to be seen together is the lobby of a hotel.
Can I help it that my baby lives in a hotel?
I just hope you know what you're doing. This port is very close to a felony, you know.
It will not be a felony if it works, and it'll be very easy once we get the key to Geraldine's hotel suite.
How do you propose getting the key without the hotel making a fuss?
He sure is cute.
Who is?
The hotel clerk, the nice man who's going to give me the key.
I'll observe the proceedings in the chair.
Your father isn't at all well, if you ask me. I've never seen him take so many of those little white pills.
Oh, Molly, he said he saw Dr. Finch in Chicago, and he looked him over, and he told him he wasn't any worse.
Well, do you think he'd tell you if he was? He protects you from everything. Too much, in my opinion.
Well, when he comes downstairs, I'll talk to him about it.
Where is he? Up there with that man in the guest room?
No, Kirk is still asleep. I checked in on him before I came downstairs. But he'll be awake soon, Molly, and he'll be hungry. Would you like to make breakfast for him, or shall I?
I'll wait until I hear what Dr. Galt has to say.
Molly, Dr. Galt will want him fed.
I suppose so. As long as he's here, he'll have to be fed, but I hope it won't be for very long.
Molly, I think there's something you should know about that man upstairs. I told you his name, but I don't think you know exactly who Kirk Michaels is.
That's right, I don't, since nobody told me a thing.
Well, I'm going to tell you now. He's my husband, Molly.
Your what?
That's right. He's the man I married 10 years ago. I know it must be a terrible shock for you, Molly. You probably thought of me as a spinster, now and forever, no doubt.
No, I never thought so. You're still a young girl for that. You've got to be my age before they can call you a spinster.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Daddy. How are you?
Well, look at you. I haven't seen that dress in years.
Oh, you have never seen this dress. Huh? I bought it last spring, and I never wanted to wear it. There just never seemed to be an occasion.
And now you have an occasion, huh? Breakfast with the old man.
Yeah, that's right. We haven't had breakfast with you in 3 days. That's enough of an occasion, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I hope there is another reason as well. And I hope you weren't expecting your friend upstairs to come down and join us.
Oh, no, of course not.
Oh, good, because I looked in on him last night. He was running a fever.
A fever?
Yeah.
Daddy, is it bad?
No, nothing to worry about. I just checked him a few minutes ago and it's down a point. It's an infection, but it's no surprise, considering how battered and bruised he is.
Maybe I should go up and see him.
Now, you sit right down and have your breakfast. He's going to be all right. Molly, how about some coffee to get this old heart of mine started?
Seems to me you take enough pills to do that.
What did I do to deserve a sassy daughter and a sassy housekeeper?
Will you have your soft-boiled eggs, Doctor?
I'll skip the eggs, Molly, and just have some cereal and toast.
Very well. And you, Miss Emily?
I'll just have toast, thanks.
Very good. And, what about your husband?
Why don't you ask Dr. Galt, Molly?
So you've told Molly. What are you trying to do, Emily? Convince yourself by convincing others about that young man's identity?
Daddy, I don't need convincing. I know who he is. And you will, too, just as soon as his memory comes back. Now, you really like my dress?
Yes, honey, I like it. In fact, I haven't seen you look so pretty and happy in years.
guest room. It's unfair for me to be in the guest room and your own husband to be on the couch.
Well, it might not happen again.
No, it's not fair. I mean, Miles is a doctor. He needs his sleep a lot more than I do right now. Look at what time he left the house this morning.
Well, he always leaves the house early when he goes to the hospital. Don't worry, okay? It won't happen again. I promise you. I'm going to put my foot down and not tell him that it disturbs you. And as for me, I really can't stand to be alone anymore.
I don't feel that the reason Miles came down here last night was to give you a good night's sleep. There is another reason, isn't there? I mean, the two of you are still having problems.
We don't have any right to have any problems after what's happened to
come
you.
on, Nicole.
It makes everything seem very insignificant.
No, you have every right. And it's just as important, and it's just as serious. What's the matter with my brother? I mean, I know he was having those symptoms before because of the drugs in his water. Well, are they still affecting him?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I can't seem to convince him that I love him, and I don't love anybody else. I don't know what to do about it.
Well, I know something I can do. I don't have to complicate your lives anymore. Nicole, I thought it all out last night. And I've decided that I really shouldn't stay here. Nicole, under the circumstances, I am a burden. And you and Miles don't need any other added burdens right now. And look, another reason is you even told me yourself that you wanted me to make the decision about where I stay by myself.
Yes, I did.
Well, I've made the decision. It's all settled then, right?
No, it is not all settled. What are you going to do? You're not going to go home, are you?
No, not yet. I thought about that, too, and don't really feel I'll be ready to do that until Julia's ready to go home. But I did think that I might call Mike and Nancy and see if their offer still stands.
Oh.
Nicole, you do understand, don't you? It has... Not because I don't want to be with you and Miles, and it's not because I don't love the baby. You know I do.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's just that I really feel the two of you need some time alone. Alone to think about yourselves and each other. It's something that was really special about my relationship with Draper. Special about our marriage. That we did have that time to get to know each other and learn to live with each other. Marriage doesn't come easy. It takes effort. It takes time. Well, I think I'll try calling Mike and Nancy now before they leave for work.
Almost ready?
Just about.
Did you finish the article on the funeral?
No, not yet.
You know, someone must have recorded the eulogy because it's all there, word for word.
Oh, at least I can find out what I said. At the time, I really wasn't sure.
Mike, what you said was very true. And very beautiful.
Well, there really weren't any words to describe how I felt.
Hello? Oh, hello, April. Good morning.
Hi, Nancy. I have a question for you, and I'd like you to be really honest with me. You and Mike did offer to let me stay at your house for a while until Julia was ready to go home. And, well, right now I'm feeling rather inclined to accept if the offer's still open.
Oh, yes, of course it does, April. We'd be more than glad to have you.
But it's not that I don't enjoy staying here with Nicole and Miles, but, you know, they do kind of have a crazy schedule. And, well, he did say that I would get a little more peace and quiet over your house.
Sure. You'd be very, very welcome here. As a matter of fact, you can come any time at all. Right now, if you'd like.
Well, I'm sure you and Mike are just about ready to leave for work.
Well, that's all right. I'll just put the key under the front doormat, okay? Not very original idea, is it? Listen, darling, you'll have the house to yourself, and we should be home this evening sometime around 6:30, okay?
Nancy, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What do you think made her change her mind?
I don't know. Restless or something.
Well, she may be just as restless in our home. I doubt if there's any place that April can go right now where she'll feel truly content.
And then what's going to happen when she has to go back to her own home?
I really don't know how she's going to manage that.
I'm glad she's going to stay here. I hope you are, Mike.
Oh, of course I am. For more than one reason. I'll be better able to fulfill that promise I made to Draper.
What promise?
To make sure that Raven Swift stays out of April's life. It's not going to be the easiest promise to keep, either. I certainly can't dictate to April who her friend should be.
Well, I'm sure that she's aware that Raven can't be a friend to anyone.
Well, there was a time when April felt kindly towards Raven, when she thought she couldn't have her own child, and Raven so generously donated hers to them.
Can you imagine any mother doing that? Because she did it out of spite. She didn't want Logan to have the baby.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Raven Swift. Did my husband leave a hotel key for me?
What was the name again?
Logan Swift. He's staying in Mrs. Saxon's residential suite. I'm sure he left a message.
No, I don't believe he did. At least not to my knowledge. No messages here.
Isn't that just like him? He's very, very busy. You see, he's the district attorney of Monticello.
Oh, yes, of course. Did you try the house phone?
Yes, I did. No one answers.
Well, there's a baby nurse there, too. Isn't she home?
No, she must be taking the baby for a walk. I can't wait to see my little boy. It's been months. So if you'll just give me the key, I could go up and wait.
Well, I really don't think I could do that. I mean, not without some authorization.
Oh, you're the assistant manager? You're awfully young to have such an important job.
You see, we can't just let you into the room, not without some...
I know. You need some identification. Well, I have every charge card you would want right here. So you see, I'm obviously Mrs. Logan Swift.
Yeah, I can see that.
Look, I've been abroad for a long time and I'm really exhausted. And I know that my husband would be furious if he knew that I was locked outside the door all afternoon.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't see what harm it can do. Here you are, Mrs. Swift.
Thank you very much.
And take the elevators over there.
Okay.
So, the blackbird strikes again.
I said it would be easy.
What about the next part of the caper? Is that going to be easy, too?
Mm-hmm. Now that we've got the key, we can get in anytime we want.
And just take the baby. Without them making a fuss. You've tried that once and you failed.
I know. This time it's your turn, darling.
Well, here it is. You want to take it up?
Oh, yes. Be happy to. You climb too many stairs as it is.
That's for sure. But I never thought I'd be climbing them for that reason. Dr. Gold? Would you like some more coffee?
Oh, no, thank you, Molly.
Are you expecting patients this morning?
No, Mrs. Flemmer is coming at 3, and I'll probably go over to the Evans place and remove Jimmy's cast.
Dr. Gold, would you please tell me something? Was your daughter joking about that man being her husband?
No, she wasn't joking, unfortunately. But it isn't true either.
Well, what is it?
Well, it is true that she did marry this young man named Kirk Michaels. There was a ceremony all right, and papers were signed. But that is all. And that doesn't make a marriage, does it, Molly?
You can't ask me. I never got as far as that. But how come you never mentioned it to me?
Well, it happened a long time ago, and I guess it was something that I was trying to put out of my mind and hoping that Emily could put out of hers, which she never could, I suppose.
And who is this Kirk Michaels? And why was he living here in your house?
He was living here because my wife brought him here.
I see.
Teresa was a woman with a great deal of social conscience. She thought she could save the whole world. All the birds with broken wings, and all the stray cats, all the ailing dogs, and unhappy people. And one day she brought home this homeless young man named Kirk Michaels. He was a vagrant passing through town, and I never did believe he gave his right name.
You mean he was some sort of criminal?
Oh, juvenile delinquent, I think. And Teresa's father was Judge Anderson. That's how she met the boy. And there was something about him that she just put her heart out to him. He was bright, good-looking, soft-spoken. Kid even knew poetry. I think that's what did it. Oh, she brought him home for supper, and he stayed the weekend and then a whole week. Next thing I know, he was doing odd jobs around the place, and I was paying him an allowance. And she thought she was saving him from the road to ruin.
And did she?
No, Molly, that boy was a tiger. And he wasn't about to change his stripes. All that talk about poetry. He was just taking advantage of Teresa's good heart. I knew that, but there was nothing I could do about it. And then something much worse happened. He started taking advantage of my daughter's heart. I should have been smarter, Molly. I should have realized what could happen when you have a romantic 16-year-old daughter. Well, she was almost 17 then. And you bring a young, good-looking rascal into the house.
Oh, my.
Well, not even Teresa saw the inevitable. She used to talk to me about Kirk being the brother that Emily never had. Emily didn't want a brother. She was at an age when she was having daydreams about boys. And living in an isolated place like we do, well, Kirk was there and he was something different.
If the boy was a criminal.
No, juvenile offenses, I think. Nothing serious, Molly. And I'm sorry to say it only made him more romantic in Emily's eyes. But my eyes must have been shut, too. I didn't even know what was happening. Right in this very house.
No, I swear it. There isn't anyone. I don't even know any other boys.
I can't believe that. You're too pretty. Oh, they must all be after you.
No. I'm not even really interested in any of the boys at school. They all seem so young and ordinary.
Well, what about school dances? I'll bet you go to those. I'll even bet that you're always the prettiest girl there.
No, I hardly ever even get asked. See, most of the boys think I'm stuck up. But I'm not really. I'm just afraid to talk to most of them.
You talk to me just fine.
Well, you're different. You're really easy to talk to. You don't make me feel... I don't know.
Don't I make you feel anything?
Yes.
Well, what? Tell me.
I can't.
Do you want to know how you make me feel?
How?
Well, like every time I see you, I want to touch you. I want to put my arms around you. Like this. I want to hold you. Like this. And I want to kiss you. Like this.
They fell in love, Molly. Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't genuine enough for both of them, but that didn't matter. I knew I had to stop what was happening. And God forgive me, I did. Say, how come the paper wasn't here this morning?
Oh, dear, that's my fault. I'm so mixed up today.
Come on in.
Good morning. I hope I didn't wake you.
Good morning. No, you didn't wake me.
Here's your breakfast.
Thank you. You certainly take good care of me. I appreciate it.
How are you feeling?
Stronger.
And how about your memory?
Memory? What's a memory? You know, I feel like somebody went inside my head. Just wiped the whole slate clean.
Don't worry about it. The important thing is that you're back home now. You know, I still have a hard time believing you're really here.
I talked to your father. He's not that positive that I am this Kirk Michaels.
Well, don't pay any attention to him. Daddy is the original skeptic.
There's got to be a way we can find out for sure.
I'm sure, Kirk. Do you think I could ever forget the man I've been waiting for all these years?
I should have been smarter, Molly. I should have realized what could happen when you have a romantic 16-year-old daughter. Well, she was almost 17 then. And you bring a good-looking rascal into your home.
Oh, my.
Yeah, not even Teresa saw the inevitable. She used to talk to me about Kirk being the brother that Emily never had. Emily didn't want a brother. She was at an age when she was daydreaming about boys. And living in the kind of isolated place we did, well, Kirk was there and he was something different.
But if the boy was a criminal...
Juvenile offenses, Molly, nothing serious. And I'm sorry to say, it only made him more romantic in Emily's eyes. My own eyes must have been shut. I never even knew what was happening, right in this very house.
Well, you're different. You're really easy to talk to. You don't make me feel... I don't know.
Don't I make you feel anything?
Yes.
Well, what? Tell me.
I can't.
Do you want to know how you make me feel?
How?
Well, like every time I see you, I want to touch you. I want to put my arms around you. Like this. I want to hold you. Like this. And I want to kiss you. Like this.
They fell in love, Molly. Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't genuine enough for both of them, but that didn't matter. I knew I had to stop what was happening. God forgive me. I did. Say, wasn't there any paper this morning?
Oh, dear, that's my fault. I'm so mixed up today. Here you are, Doctor.
Thank you, Mom.
I think I'll get some more hot coffee.
It's been such a long time since we've been together. So much must have happened in your life.
I wish I knew.
Why don't you try thinking about a memory that you do have, and then maybe it would trigger something inside you to bring back the past?
I have. What do you think I do when I lie here for hours? I try to latch on to something, anything. Anything that'll tell me who I am and where I came from.
Must be awful for you.
I feel like my life began when I came to. Like I was born in this room.
Well, don't upset yourself. We can try thinking about the past another time.
You have memories. Maybe you should tell me about your life.
I could probably write my whole autobiography on the back of a 3x5 file card.
Well, go ahead, tell me about it, please.
Well, my only noteworthy achievement in the past 10 years is learning to play the piano. I've become quite good at it, actually.
Did you play when we were together?
No. You see, after you left and after my mother died, well, I didn't take much interest in life. Daddy thought it would be a good idea if I took piano lessons, you know, as sort of a therapy.
I'd like to hear you play sometime.
You know, the piano has been my only true friend these past 10 years.
Look, Emily, if I caused you any pain, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter, because you're back now. That's the important thing. And Kirk, I haven't changed. Maybe it's a good thing that I'm still the person you fell in love with 10 years ago.
I don't know.
Oh, look, you don't have to say anything. I know that you're terribly confused now, and probably the last thing you need to hear is that you were once in love with somebody who seems like a perfect stranger to you. But you did love me, Kirk.
I'm trying to remember that, Emily. You don't know how badly I'm trying.
You will. It's been such a long time, I'm really not surprised that you don't remember how you felt about me any more than you can recall the name Kirk Michaels.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you might have been using a different name these last 10 years.
That's what really frightens me. I mean, the fact that I may have forgotten the past because I just don't want to remember some of the things I might have done.
Look, a name is not important, but I know who you are and what you are. And when your memory comes back, you'll know who I am, too.
Right. Yeah, there's bound to be some good memories locked up somewhere inside of me.
You'll remember why you came back to this house. You came back because you wanted to see me. Because you never forgot me.
It just surprised me, that's all. I mean, I called and asked to speak to April, only to learn that she'd left the Kavanaughs to stay with you and Nancy. Didn't expect it.
Well, apparently April felt that she was in the way in the Kavanaugh household for some reason.
In a way? That's funny. I'm sure Miles and Nicole did everything possible to make her feel comfortable.
I'm sure they did, but if she feels more comfortable with us, we're more than happy to have her.
Oh, of course. you mind if I came by later today? I think I'd like to see her.
Oh, of course not. The plan now is for April to stay with us until Julia's ready to come home from the hospital. You're welcome any time.
How are you doing?
I'm adjusting.
Tell you, I felt a little peculiar when I came in here today and saw Draper's name on the door. What's going to become of Carr and Scott now, anyway?
Well, frankly, I haven't really given it much thought. I'm just tying up the loose ends now.
Yeah, you must be snowed under with work.
Yeah, I'm going to be busy for a while. The other day, I was going over a brief, and there was a question I had about a certain point, so automatically I stuck my head in Draper's office and wanted to ask his opinion. Seeing that empty office makes it very real for me.
If there's anything I can do to help, I mean, my office would be happy to grant you a continuance anytime you want. Anything at all, please ask.
I appreciate that, Logan. Now, what can I do for you?
I'm almost afraid to tell you. I don't want to add any more to the burden you're already carrying.
Oh, I'll survive.
Well, I was sort of hoping Geraldine would be here by now, but I guess we can start without her. This is strictly a personal matter. I want to get started on those adoption proceedings again. The sooner, the better.
I see. I don't think I have to remind you that your legal position hasn't changed since the last time we spoke.
No, it hasn't. But there has been one change. Raven is back.
Oh, yes, that's true.
That's what made me decide to get going on these again. I think it's more important than ever.
But you still understand that just being Raven's husband gives you no claim to Jamie. Do you expect her to give her consent to the adoption?
No, not for a minute. I expect her to fight tooth and nail.
And it could be quite a battle.
Well, I think I have a way of evening the odds.
Now that I'd like to hear.
I'm going to prove that I am Jamie's biological father before I even file for adoption.
But without Raven's admission to that fact, it would still be difficult to establish.
It can be done. With Geraldine's help.
Excuse me. Yes, Anna. Oh, ask her to come in, please. Geraldine.
No, I'll get the door.
Hello. Hello, Mike.
How nice to see you.
Thank you. Mike, this was not an easy decision for Logan to make, but we both felt this action was absolutely necessary.
You realize, Geraldine, it will be impossible to keep Kevin's name out of these proceedings.
Do what you have to.
It's not too late to change your mind.
I loved Kevin as I loved my own sons. Nothing can alter that feeling. My only regret about Kevin's past is that he had the poor sense to fall in love with Raven.
Yes, there was a lot of that going around about that time.
I often thought how much you remind me of Kevin.
Logan, we're going to need an affidavit stating that you did have an affair with Raven while she was married to Kevin.
Of course, I'll see that you get it.
And even if Raven admits to the liaison, she still may contend it is Kevin's child.
We can prove paternity.
I have spoken to Dr. Lacey, and there will be no difficulty in getting the results of Kevin's fertility tests.
The proof of his sterility, combined with my blood test, should provide a pretty convincing case.
But without Raven's confirmation, there's still no guarantee.
Mike, who do you think the court will believe? After all, I am the district attorney.
Yes, you are. And that's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lot of dirty laundry hung out for public inspection.
That would be most unfortunate. This matter has no bearing whatsoever on Logan's ability to do his job.
Of course not. But you still may be putting your career on the line, Logan.
It's worth it. I want my son.
Logan, have you talked to Raven recently about this?
Let's just say that Raven and I see as little as possible of each other.
Now, look, these revelations certainly aren't going to enhance her reputation. So you might be able to settle this without going into court.
No chance. A judge is going to have to give Jamie to me. That's the only way I'll get him.
All right. But even if you come out a winner, you're going to have some scars.
No, we have no illusions about that. As a matter of fact, we're prepared for a knockdown, drag-out fight to the finish if necessary.
With your legal expertise and Geraldine's support, things should come out all right. That is assuming that you'll take the case.
Of course I will.
Thank you, Mike.
Now, would you mind satisfying my curiosity?
I think we can do that. You know most of the family secrets by now.
This sudden desire for parenthood, It's obviously connected to Raven's return.
Oh, yes, it is. When she took off for London, we thought we'd seen the last of her, but here she is again.
We have no idea why she seems so desperate to gain custody, but apparently she is.
There's a chance, just a chance, that she may be planning to steal Jamie.
What?
It's true. She seems absolutely determined to take Jamie, legally or otherwise.
She could have got a court order quite easily, but she didn't. Why not? I think she's afraid of the consequences. I don't think she wants to face countercharges.
Such as abandonment.
Right.
So that's why you're willing to go through with this?
That's why. Now, I know that it's going to be difficult, probably nasty before we get done. I mean, proving paternity, then the custody battle.
But it seems to me that the black and white of this is perfectly obvious. Raven doesn't care for that child. And why should a woman who doesn't care for her own child want custody and want the privilege of taking care of it?
That's what we have to find out, why she wants that privilege.
Well, I'm sure she does. I think it's just some sort of, I don't know, perverse satisfaction.
Well, whatever the reason, she does want him. This is one time that Raven is going to be disappointed.
Seems so strange that I could have lived here all these years and not remember anything. I wish I had a book, a diary that I could look into that would tell me all about myself.
Well, I'm a kind of a book. At least about the time we shared together.
Then why don't you tell me about us? Tell me everything you know.
Well, when you first lived here, this wasn't your room. Daddy had fixed up the attic for you. I even visited you there once. But only once. After Daddy found out, I was forbidden to go up again.
So I gather that your father didn't approve of me.
No. And then there was the time that he caught us together in the living room.
Emily!
Daddy.
Dr. Galt, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I can't tell you how disappointed I am in you, Emily.
Daddy, we weren't doing anything wrong.
I'm not blind, you know.
We were just kissing. People kiss each other when they like each other.
How can you possibly like that young hoodlum?
Don't you call Kirk that? He's the nicest boy I've ever known.
Kirk Michaels could paper this house with his juvenile delinquent citations.
You don't know him.
There are many acceptable boys in your class. Now, most of them would jump at the chance to go out with you. What's wrong with them?
What is wrong with Kirk?
You think he's exciting because he's bad, is that it? Well, I won't allow it.
Daddy, I am not a little girl. You can't order me around like this.
Emily, please listen to me. I'm telling you this for your own good. Trust your father.
You don't understand, Daddy. Kirk is special to me, and I'm special to him.
You've got nothing but a schoolgirl crush, that's all it is. And as for Kirk, his interest in you goes as far as, well, the only thing boys his age are interested in.
We happen to be in love, Daddy.
I'm sure you think you are. What I'm trying to say is that you're not old enough to know what that kind of love is.
We know what we're doing.
It's all your mother's fault. I told her no good would come and bring that boy into our home. I never did trust him. Little did I know it would be after my daughter. Well, you can consider that a goodbye kiss. He's leaving.
Are you finished with your breakfast?
Molly, I was just telling Kirk about some of the things that happened when he was here before.
Well, don't let me interrupt.
How would you like to hear some music?
Sure, that would be fine if you have a radio.
Well, you said you wanted to hear me play. Now's as good a time as any.
Terrific.
I'll play the song that we used to love.
Now I know why you've been playing that tune over and over.
You just lie here and listen. I'll leave the door open so you can hear. Daddy, I just looked in on Kirk. He seems to be feeling better.
Oh, that's fine. I want to change the bandage on his leg.
Daddy, I know it's a little bit early in the morning for a recital, but would you mind very much if I played the piano for a little?
No, go right ahead. Just so long as it's not too loud, like the William Tell Overture or some of that disco music.
No, I know exactly what I want to play.
Where did this sudden musical enthusiasm come from?
Well, Kirk said he wanted to hear me play.
I should have known. William, I have a daughter, and she's all I have. And unfortunately, I'm all she has.
Yes, I know about Emily.
She's not an invalid or mentally incompetent or anything like that. But she's been sheltered. Something happened in our lives that made us too dependent upon each other. And if anything was going to happen to me, then I sort of have to make arrangements for the future. Don't you see?
Yes, of course.
That's why you have to be honest with me. If there's anything eminent on that piece of paper,
Leo, make whatever arrangements you can. And I'm sorry.
So that's our song. Glad it means so much to Emily. Because it doesn't mean anything to me.
Draper Scott buried an atmosphere of sadness and irony. Draper Scott. If this face had a beard. Emily? Emily?
Yes, Daddy?
Come here, please. There's something I want to tell you. Draper Scott buried an atmosphere of sadness and irony. Draper Scott. This face had a beard. Emily. Emily!
Yes, Daddy?
Come here, please. Something I have to tell you.
What is it, Daddy? I'm just in the middle of the piece. Kirk's listening.
It's important.
Well, all right. I hope he liked it. It used to be our song.
I want you to listen to what I have to say with an open mind.
Okay, I'm all ears.
It's about...
Daddy! Daddy, what's wrong? Oh, God. Oh, no, no.
Angina.
Oh, hard. Molly! Molly, come quickly!
Look, all the shouting about.
He's having a heart attack.
Oh, I'll get some water.
Oh, can I come in?
Come on in, Logan.
Long arm bearing flowers.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you.
Yes, it is, considering that you took off from the Kavanaughs without telling anybody where you'd gone. Is that any way to try and get rid of your friends?
I didn't tell anybody.
Okay, don't let it happen again. I saw Mike this morning. He told me you were here, and I told him I'd like to come by. Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Listen, what are you doing out here at this time of day anyway? Shouldn't you be at work, district attorney?
Well, I probably should. But what's the point of being boss if you can't delegate a little responsibility and goof off?
Yeah.
I wanted to see how you were doing.
Really was sweet of you, and I really do appreciate it.
Good. So, how are you doing?
Oh, do you really want to know? Not so good.
Sorry to hear that.
Logan, I just don't know what to do with myself. I woke up this morning and I looked out the window and definitely was spring. I feel as if I'm in the middle of a very long, cold winter.
Well, it is the time of year for new beginnings.
I was very happy with my old life. I wasn't ready to embark on a new one, not without Draper.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, listen, I'm really sorry. I know that self-pity isn't going to make anything easier.
Oh, you're entitled. For a little while anyway. It won't last long.
Time heals all wounds, huh?
That's what they say.
Who are they?
Yeah, I think I better go out and come in again. You know, I'm not here to sell you a bill of goods. I just thought maybe we could cheer each other up.
Yeah, let's talk about the weather. We've talked about that. But these flowers, I've never seen daffodils like this before.
Look, we'll talk about Julia, that's it. Okay. I was telling Jamie about her the other day. I said, this is one gorgeous chick. He says, don't come home without her phone number. How is she?
She's wonderful.
Yeah?
I spoke to the hospital this morning, and they said the way she's gaining weight, by the time they let me take her home, she'll be absolutely chubby.
Oh, that's great. I have to stop by and see her.
I will say hello for you myself this afternoon. I'm going over there for no other reason than to remind the poor kid that she does really have a mother.
Oh, yes, she does. One she can be proud of, too. Not like poor little Jamie.
Jamie happens to have one terrific father.
Thank you, ma'am. Just sort of for your information, I thought you might be interested to know. I'm going to start adoption proceedings for Jamie again.
Well, it's about time. I'm glad to hear it.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. Tell Raven about that.
Oh, yeah, Raven. She could turn these adoption procedures into a pretty messy affair, couldn't she?
Very messy indeed. Probably going to have to fight her every step of the way. But it'd be worth it if I get custody of Jamie.
Logan, since you don't have any legal claim, and despite the fact that Raven has been a rotten mother, she can make it real tough on you.
Yeah. I was talking about that just before I came over here with Mike and Geraldine. The good news is it looks like I'm going to be able to prove that I am his father.
Oh? Well, that's going to open up a whole nother can of worms.
Oh, yeah. Certainly will. Geraldine's with me on this. She agrees. We have to protect his future, so she's behind me all the way.
What about you? Won't this hurt your reputation professionally?
Take that chance. Jamie's worth it.
Yeah.
Besides, the way Raven's been acting recently, I just want to get this done as soon as possible for Jamie's own good.
I haven't done much good for Jamie lately.
What?
Well, I mean, my leaving Nicole's house means that Mrs. Goodman will have to go back and take care of Adam. What about Jamie?
Oh, don't you worry about that. You're not causing anybody any inconvenience. Geraldine's already hired a new nanny. She's taking over right now. It should solve our problem permanently. Yep, she'll be there today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What do you say we get some water?
They look thirsty to me.
Okay. Coming. Mrs. Bates, I presume. Come on in.
Thank you. And it's Miss Bates, but you can call me Rosalind.
Oh, yeah? Look, Roz, you're about a half hour late.
Well, I had some things to take care of.
Now, look, Mrs. Saxon has to be out of here bright and early. She's not going to be able to wait around for you to take care of things.
I'm sure Mrs. Saxon and I will get along famously.
Have a seat. So, how many of your own you got? Kids, I mean.
I never married.
Oh, what a shame. I'm a grandmother myself 3 times over. You do like kids, don't you?
They're a living.
Do much of this kind of work before?
Only when necessary.
What kind of place you work in before this? A disco?
I beg your pardon?
Well, I mean, with the outfit you got, it's not what your basic babysitter wears to clean, to feed, and diaper.
I wear what I like. I didn't see any reason to dress down for the occasion.
You know, it's a pretty terrific little boy you got to take care of there.
Well, the agency assured me that Johnny was well behaved.
Oh, it's Jamie. Look, I'm sorry I can't stay to show you the ropes, but I have another little boy to take care of, Adam Kavanaugh. But I did write down a few of the do's and don'ts.
If you don't mind, Mrs. Goodman, I'd like to meet the young man before I take any instructions.
Oh, sure, by all means. Come on, right with me. He's in here. But keep your arms down to your side, Roz.
Why? Does he bite?
No, but if Jamie sees all that jewelry, he might mistake you for a jungle gym. After you.
Can I get you anything else?
No, thank you. You know, I'm not at all happy about this.
Told you not to order that apple pie. It looked terrible.
You know very well what I'm talking about. It's your plan I'm not fond of.
Got a better idea?
Yes, let's forget the whole thing and go home.
No. I am going to get my baby back with or without you.
I don't know why I let you talk me into this.
Just trying to help a friend.
A friend is asking too much.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Elliot, because I don't... If I can't be friends with you, we certainly can't be lovers.
You know what this is, Raven? This is sexual blackmail.
You're so perceptive.
While it's true that I may not know how I wish to spend the rest of my life, doing time in prison for kidnapping is not one of the possibilities I like.
It is perfectly legal. I have a foolproof plan.
Do you know what my horoscope said about foolproof plans?
It's going to be like taking candy from a baby. You are going to have no trouble getting my little boy from Mrs. Goodman.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Elliot, all you have to do is turn on your famous sex appeal, and Mrs. Goodman doesn't have a chance.
Look, Raven, I realize that I may have, on occasion, taken up with a slightly older woman.
Or two.
But this does not mean that I make a habit.
Elliot, you're going to love it, and you know it.
I'm developing a severe headache.
Look, I'm not asking you to have an affair with the old frump.
Oh, thank you very much.
I just want you to provide her with a diversion.
Margaret does doing your dirty work.
Well, I'll make it up to you, I promise. And then some.
You drive a very hard bargain.
I knew I would make you an offer you couldn't refuse.
The inscription on my tombstone will read, "You did it all for love."
Well, I'm doing it for love, too. All you have to do is clear out that room so I can go in there and take my son where he belongs, to a loving mother.
Logan, maybe what Raven really wants is you.
You're kidding.
No. I mean, isn't it possible that Raven might be trying to, I don't know, renew your marriage?
Hardly likely.
But come on, it certainly would explain her motivation for trying to get Jamie back.
I'm sorry, I don't follow you on that one.
All right, let me put it this way. Raven has to be well aware of the fact that to effect a reconciliation with you would not be easy. Considering her antics.
Impossible would be a better word.
Well, there you go. You'd need a very strong lure to reel you back in.
You think she's trying to set up Jamie as bait for me?
Exactly. She knows that Jamie is your world, and if Raven has custody of Jamie, then it puts her in a very strong bargaining position.
No. Trying to take Jamie away from me, that's one hell of a way to kiss and make up.
Come on, Logan. You know Raven better than anyone. If she has finally realized that walking out on you is a mistake, she'd be the last person in the world to come crawling back.
I can't believe that. I don't think she'd want to come back. Not that I'd let her. I wouldn't.
All right, forget it. I was just trying to find an explanation for her behavior.
Raven walked out because of her shortcomings, not because of mine.
Elliot,
and who knows how many others. Raven's not going to change. She is incapable of being faithful to one man. She never should have married. Kevin, me, anyone. God knows she shouldn't have been a mother.
all right, then why the sudden desire to get Jamie back?
It's not motherly love, I'll tell you that.
I don't know, Logan. I really don't. Now that I'm a mother, I don't know. Look, you can never really understand someone's feelings, especially when you're talking about love. You got to agree with me there.
I guess I do. Love never seems to make any sense. I sure couldn't tell you why I fell in love with Raven.
Well, I don't think I could tell you exactly why I fell in love with Draper, but I could tell you when.
Oh, yeah?
Must have been in the first 5 minutes after I met him.
Oh?
Yep, it was at the Claremont Hospital, and it was a visiting room. I could even tell you what I was wearing.
What?
My blue nightgown. Yeah, I was a patient, and Draper was sitting there reading a baby magazine. That's all there was. Oh, boy, maybe I shouldn't talk about things like that. I'm sorry.
Don't you dare apologize.
Well, it's just that what Draper and I had is, well, something I can't describe in words.
You were lucky. You were very lucky. You two had what it's supposed to be all about.
I loved him more than anything in the whole wide world. He was the most important part of my life.
I know that.
Now that he's gone, that part of my life is gone. Part of me feels dead.
Don't talk that way. Don't even think that way. Life is too important.
Logan, I just don't know right now how I'm going to go on without him.
Maybe not. You'll do it. You have to. You can't give up.
Why?
Because you can't. Because there are reasons for things. And you're a part of so many lives. Your friends, your brothers, your daughters. You got a purpose. We all have. You got things to do, and you can't leave till you do them. That's all. Even when you don't understand. It's hard. It's very hard, but that's just the way life is.
Rosalind's going to take a little rest now, Johnny, so you just be quiet, all right? Oh, Roz, honey, you have got yourself one sweet setup here. There's one thing I hate. It's being interrupted while I'm working. Yes?
Mrs. Goodman, I presume?
You presume wrong.
Oh, this is the Saxon residence, isn't it?
Yes, but Mrs. Goodman doesn't work here anymore.
I see. So you're entrusted with the little fellow's care, huh?
And who might you be?
Oh, forgive me. My name is Edward.
Well, Edward, why don't you come in?
Thank you.
I've taken over for Mrs. Goodman. Perhaps there's something I can help you with.
Yes, you see, I'm in town on business from Baltimore. Mrs. Goodman is a friend of a friend, and as I know no one in Monticello, it was suggested that we have some coffee together.
Too bad for Mrs. Goodman.
Ah, that is a lovely outfit you're wearing.
It's kind of you to notice.
You know, when I think of baby nurses, I conjure up images of silver-haired women. Never such a person as yourself.
You're not so bad yourself.
I kind of you to know.
Listen, Edward, just because Mrs. Goodman isn't here is no reason for you to be deprived of your coffee. I'll call down to room service and have some sent up.
I'd like that, but I do have a meeting, and if the service in this hotel is like in most hotels, I'll never get there on time.
I understand. Just when I thought Mrs. Goodman's loss might be my gain.
Wow. I tell you what, why don't we pop down to the coffee shop?
I can't do that. I've got a baby to look after in there.
Or can't the baby take care of himself for 10 minutes?
That would be terribly irresponsible of me. Besides, it's my first day on the job.
Or can't you convince him to take a nap?
Forget it. Look, I'd be glad to call down to the coffee shop, but that's it.
Well, give me credit for trying. I sort of thought it could be the beginning of beautiful friendship.
Oh. Wait, just a second. He usually goes to bed right after supper. Mrs. Goodman says he always sleeps soundly after he eats.
And what time would that be?
5:30.
Ah, the cocktail hour. The sun is over the yard arm.
What?
That means that we could meet at the hotel bar instead of a coffee shop.
Okay, now, I can't stay long. 15 minutes, that's all I could stay.
50 minutes is more than enough. We can get acquainted and make other arrangements.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you at 5:30.
Edward, how did you know the baby was a he?
Oh, I always use the masculine pronoun, you see. I'm a male chauvinist.
Great. I hardly meet any of them anymore.
Won't you please let me call the doctor and have him look at you?
There's no need, Molly.
Daddy, you must have been in terrible pain.
I'm much better, Emily. And believe me.
Maybe Molly and I should take you to the hospital just to be sure.
Let the doctors worry about sick people. All I have to do is take my medication and rest.
Daddy, you had me so scared.
Oh, come on now. Wipe that worried look off the pretty face of yours. Your dad is fine.
Are you sure?
Say, who's the doctor in this family?
If you had a patient who took care of himself as poorly as you did, you'd be giving him a lecture right now.
I had an angina attack and it's over.
Until the next one.
Daddy, it's not hard to see that these attacks are getting worse and worse.
Emily is right.
Well, now, if I'm not concerned, why should you be?
But what did Dr. Finch say? That is why you went to Chicago to see him.
Dr. Finch told me exactly what to do, to take my medication and rest and not to worry.
But Daddy, I can't help it. I love you.
And I love you, Emily. And it hurts me to see you this upset.
I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you.
Now, I don't want to hear you say things like that. Now, I want you to go about your business and just forget about such nonsense.
But I want you to be well. I need you to be well.
Emily,
Especially now, Daddy. Daddy, I never thought that I'd have another chance to be happy again. And I'm not going to apologize for being selfish because I want to be near the two men I love, both you and Kirk.
I know how much it means to you.
And please, Daddy, don't drive him out of my life a second time. Please.
There's no need for tears, Emily.
But Daddy, I'm so frightened.
Everything will work out for the best. I promise you.
No, it won't. I know it.
Well, how can you say that?
Because nothing ever works out the way I want it to. Never.
I know you've had certain disappointments.
Just when I start to feel good about my life, something happens to ruin it.
Emily, I wish you wouldn't feel sorry for yourself.
Daddy, I don't want to feel self-pity. I want to feel happy.
There's nothing we can do to change the past.
No, but what about the future? Daddy, I'm just so confused right now. See, for the first time in my life, I'm really looking forward to the future. And at the same time, I'm dreading it.
You shouldn't feel that way.
But now that Kirk is back, I just don't want anything to go wrong.
I know how you've gotten your hopes up.
Daddy, I know that he doesn't remember anything about the past or any of the times he spent with me. But it doesn't matter to me. Because he loved me then, and I know he'll love me now.
If there was anything I could do to protect you, to ensure your happiness, I would do it in a minute.
Daddy, I know if I ever lost Kirk again, I never could be happy.
Say, it's getting a bit chilly in here, don't you think?
I suppose so.
Well, there. Isn't that better?
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on our mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The the edge of night, half dark, half light, as we watch our hearts
Here you are.
Thank you.
Do you have a drink? Good. I want to toast to our new enterprise.
You've got a drink, all right. Only I've finished it and I'm ready for another one. Only I think it's not going to be enough.
Look, relax. Elliot, it was a stroke of luck that Logan got that new babysitter. I don't think you could have seduced Mrs. Goodman to have a drink with you if you tried. I mean, you should be grateful. Mrs. Goodman wasn't exactly your type anyway.
Neither is this lady. Wait till you see her.
I can't wait to see her. Didn't she say she was going to be here an hour ago? It's past that now.
Or maybe she got cold feet.
Maybe you're losing your touch.
It's no easy task. First day on the job, to get her to leave her baby all by itself.
Oh, but it was worth the risk to have a handsome devil like you in her life.
I didn't promise to marry the woman, just have a drink with her.
But what if she changed her mind? Then plan B goes out the window, so why don't you call her up and find out what's going on?
I suppose so. Miss,
Yes,
could I have the house phone, please?
sure. I'll bring it to your table.
Thank you. Raven, in case plan B does fail, do you have a plan C? Yes, that's what I was afraid of.
Here you go.
Thank you. I'll have another one of these.
Oh. Don't get drunk, darling. You're much more charming when you're sober.
The Saxon suite, please. Yes, but the lady will appear better to me when I'm not.
Mrs. Saxon Suite, Rosalind Bates speaking.
Hello, Rosalind. This is Edward. You do remember me, don't you?
Of course. I guess you're wondering where I am.
Oh, I know where you are. I was wondering why you were not where I am.
Well, I just wanted to make sure the baby was asleep because, I mean, it's bad enough that I'm leaving him alone.
I told you it'll only be for a few minutes. We just have a nice discussion and plan our future arrangements.
Well, I'll be down in around 10 minutes, okay?
10 minutes. I'll be waiting for you. Bye. She's on her way.
Terrific. Because when she comes down here, I will be on my way with my little boy. Look, Elliot, the only thing that I am concerned with is that someone else might come into Geraldine's suite.
I'm sure Rosalind is worried about that, too. That Geraldine may come home early.
No, she won't. I called the studio before I got here, and she's going to be there all night.
And what about your husband?
I don't know about Logan. It's about his quitting time now. He usually works late. He might stay in town for dinner.
Seems to me you should make sure of his plans.
You're right. Better be safe than sorry. Ma'am? Excuse me, could I have a phone over here to make an in-town call?
Sure, I'll bring it to your table.
Thank you.
Well, I wonder what Rosalind's going to say when she comes back home and finds the baby is missing.
She's going to be surprised, that's for sure.
She's also going to be without a job.
Well, she wouldn't have a job anyway. I'll have the baby. I'm going to need a baby nurse myself, though. Can't imagine spending all my time taking care of the little darling.
I just hope she doesn't implicate me.
say she went on a rendezvous. She's gonna say she went out and got a newspaper.
Here you are, ma'am.
Don't worry, I've got everything taken care of.
You would have made a fine international jewel thief, Raven.
Yes, hello. Could I speak to Mr. Swift? Hi. Could I speak to Logan, please? This is his wife. Okay, thank you. At least he's still in the office.
Yeah. No, terrific. Just what I need. You ask her what she wants? No, I'll talk to her. Yes, Raven.
Hi, darling. How are you?
Well, I'm kind of busy. What do you want?
Look, you don't have to be so jumpy. What is it? You're still hot and bothered because I tried to take Jamie for a little ride?
Well, now it's a little ride. Last time it was a little walk. You better get your story straight, hadn't you?
Look, Logan, I just thought that the two of us should get together for a nice, mature dinner, have a little talk. So why don't we go out and maybe get a drink?
Raven, I have nothing to say to you, and I don't want to hear anything that you have to say to me.
Well, come on, Logan, please. I mean, you're almost off work. Could we just go out for a drink?
It may be quitting time for you, but not for me. I've still got an appointment.
Oh, yeah? How long are you going to be gone?
Well, I've got to spend about an hour with my car, but not that it makes any difference because I wouldn't have dinner with you anyway. You have a bad effect on my digestion.
Why, thank you. I just thought I'd make the offer, but if you're busy, you're busy. So, goodbye, darling. And please, send my love to Mike.
Well, hello. Better late than ever?
You mad at me?
Mad? No, why should I be mad? You take off after lunch, we don't hear from you, you miss 2 appointments, you miss a meeting.
Hey, let me explain, will you? I got a phone call from my aunt. You see, I told you about her, the one from Toledo. See, she's a designated hitter on this old woman's softball team, and she carries these 24 bats with her everywhere she goes.
Cliff, I don't really have time right now for a trip to your family's zoo.
Will you listen to me? She called me from the airport. She needed help, and I don't want to incur the wrath of 24 baseball bats. Besides, she's very rich and
I'm
might leave
very
me out of her...
disappointed in you. You're a very creative person. You've had 4 hours, and that's the best excuse that you can come up with.
That's the truth. I had to go to the airport to meet my aunt. Look, I hate the old bag, but I'd rather face her than some of the people around this office.
Now, that sounds a little bit more like honesty. Just a little bit.
You want me to be honest with you? All right, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather face a firing squad than some of the people around this town. I knew what my appointments were. Doc Kavanaugh, right, about the Wilkerson autopsy?
Yeah, that was sort of important, too. The entire Wilkerson case is built on that autopsy.
Well, I just couldn't handle the fact that all the time we're talking about the case, Doc Kavanaugh would look at me as if I should be on the autopsy table.
For Pete's sake, I wish you were a little less sensitive.
And the second appointment is with Councilman Weiss, right?
Yeah.
Well, it so happens that he was a very good friend of Draper's. He happens to think he's innocent, and he thinks that I personally shoved that guilty verdict down the jury's throat.
Well, you didn't, so what's the problem?
It's bad enough that I have to meet with Mike Carr, the guy that Draper Scott worked with for 3 years.
All right. Enough crying about this, will you? The tears are staining the rug. I covered for you on the first 2 things. I'm about to take the third one now.
Maybe you can't, though. That's my case.
Was your case, past tense.
But you can't do that.
I can't? Why not?
Because I wouldn't work on it for 6 months. Mike Carr finally agreed to plea bargain.
I'm taking you off this case. And you can forget about the Wilkerson case, too, because I'm giving that one to Harry Buford.
Harry Buford?
That's right, Harry Buford. You're no good to me anymore. You've been useless ever since the Scott decision.
Well, how would you feel if ever since that Scott decision and this train wreck that happened, nobody talks to me, boss? Everybody looks at me like I'm some kind of leper or something.
You're turning paranoid. That's the problem. You played by the rules, and you won the case. You got nothing to be ashamed of.
I got an innocent man convicted. Now, that's worse than losing. I'm not paranoid. And then before we can correct the matter, he goes off and gets himself killed. You know, I thought I'd never say this, but it's just no fun coming into this office anymore.
Well, that's just a real shame. I'm not having a lot of fun myself these days, but I'm doing my job, which is more than I can say for you.
Okay, fine. You want me to do my job again, huh? Well, I'm going to Mike Carr's office. You can't stop me. It's my case. You can't stop me. It's my case.
Okay, fine. You might need this. The file.
Oh.
Yes.
Hello, may I let myself in?
Hi. Of course. I'm glad you were able to get away early.
Oh, honey, we promised ourselves an early evening, remember?
Well, as a matter of fact, that meeting I was supposed to have, it's been postponed for over an hour.
Oh, dear. There goes the promise.
Well, Logan asked me to do him this favor. You see, this case has been pending for over 6 months now. We're both anxious to get it settled. As a matter of fact, I don't even know who's going to be here. Cliff Nelson was supposed to be, and apparently he's done a vanishing act.
He can't be a very happy young man, can he?
Well, frankly, I don't know anyone in this town who I'd describe as happy. It's as if Draper's death has cast a pall over this whole town.
You know, that's how I've felt, too, but I just put it down to my mood.
What about April? Have you talked to her?
Oh, yes, she's all settled in the house, says she has everything she needs.
I'm really glad that she's going to move in with us. You know, I wonder if I should bring this home with me.
What's that?
Margot's file, all the particulars about her estate. Eventually, I'm going to have to go over all this in detail with April.
Well, darling, I think that she realizes that. She expects it. I think you're safe in bringing it home.
You know, this is a huge estate. Millions involved. Including more than one business property, too.
I have a feeling that one business she'll definitely want to hold on to is the television station, especially with Geraldine running it for her.
Ironic, isn't it? Some people dream of sudden wealth. April has it. And I'm sure it means nothing at all to her right now.
She's lost far more than that.
So have we.
But she still has one little treasure left. Her little baby.
Hi there, sweetie. Oh boy, you get more beautiful every single day. Listen, you got to keep up the good work, because they're not going to let you out of this place until you're big and strong. And I need you, Julia. I need someone.
Miss Scott?
Oh, hi.
Hi. How are you today? Doesn't she look wonderful? I'm sure you can see the difference in her.
Are you kidding? It's like she's growing right before my eyes.
She's doing so well, too. Dr. Buckley is very pleased. You're going to bring home a very healthy baby.
Oh, I'm glad. Listen, has Dr. Buckley said anything about when?
Well, that's not up to her, really. She's an OB. Now, the one who decides that is Dr. Ogilvy of pediatric staff. I think you met him.
Short, chubby, gray hair?
Yes, that's the one. Yes, he's seen your little girl every day and says she's doing great.
Well, listen, last time I heard they said she'd have to be here for about a month. Is anything new?
Now, that was a week ago, so now it's only 3 weeks. But who knows? It might even be sooner the way she's gaining weight. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, it's just that I really can't imagine what it's going to be like, you know, taking my baby home from the hospital. Got my husband.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
No, look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say things like that. Forget.
Oh, no, you mustn't feel that way. You should say what you feel like saying. It'll take a long time to stop thinking about it.
I guess you're kind of used to it, huh? I mean, being a nurse, you're used to death and dying.
Well, you become accustomed to death, but not to loss.
Yeah, that's true.
Pediatric nurses to delivery.
Oh, I better go, but you call on me now if you need me.
Thank you. Yeah, there is a difference. Yeah. But I wonder if I'll ever really believe it. Believe what's happened. Believe that my husband is really gone. Oh, Julia, sometimes I'm absolutely sure that Draper's going to walk into the room I'm in, put his arm around me, or just call my name on a crowded street. I just can't shake the feeling that he's still alive.
That's right. I'd forgotten that Margot owned the unicorn.
She bought it for Elliot as a plaything when they were first married.
Well, who's running it now?
A man named Lorimer, originally hired as a bartender. Margot gave him carte blanche to do whatever he wanted with the place, and apparently, judging from the balance sheet, it's really gone downhill.
Well, playthings usually don't make money.
That's true enough.
Sorry, Mr. Carr, about being late, but I couldn't get away from the girls at the secretary.
Oh, Cliff, hello.
Hello.
Oh, Mrs. Carr, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here.
No, that's all right. I came by to drive Mike home.
Well, sorry I'm late, but Logan said it'd be okay.
Yes, Cliff, it's okay. As a matter of fact, if you agree to what I'm going to propose in the Collins defense, this could be the shortest meeting on record.
Oh, good.
Of course, if you don't agree...
Well, in either case, if you'll excuse me, I am going to find the powder room and make myself more presentable.
Oh, you look fine to me, Mrs. Carr. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, please, don't apologize. That was a compliment.
Well, it's just that I'm beginning to discover that a lot of people take offense to my honesty. I have something else to say to you, too.
Oh?
It's about the Draper Scott case. I'd like to thank you for your job of reporting. I know that he was your good friend and, well, you thought he was innocent, but your story wasn't slanted at all.
That's because my wife is a good journalist, Cliff.
You know, you're the only journalist that didn't accuse me of being public enemy number one. I mean, not during the trial or afterwards. Boy, that's what really hurt, was the afterwards. You can't imagine. I work hard, and then suddenly new facts come up and Draper's innocent. Mrs. Madison was the one who really killed Margot Dorn.
Mr. Nelson,
Call me Cliff.
Cliff, you weren't to blame for that. Any more than Logan was, and Logan was Draper's closest friend.
In fact, I think you did an excellent job, Cliff, and I should know, since I was on the other side.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say, Mr. Carr.
I like the way you handle yourself. A mixture of emotion and logic is my idea of good courtroom procedure, and you got the verdict.
That's the kindest thing that's been said to me in the past 3 weeks. And, boy, especially coming from you. I mean, you're the one that lost a good friend and a good associate.
Yes, I did. Which means that now I have a choice of one of two things. Either get rid of half my clients or bring a new member into the firm.
Well, you must have 100 guys who want that job. I bet you have solicitations already.
No, because I wanted to make discreet inquiries to other law firms first, see if they can give me any referrals.
Well, if I wasn't on the other side, I mean the prosecutor's office, I'd be one of the first guys beating down your door asking for that job. In fact, Mr. Carr, would you consider someone like me for that job?
Dressed because you're going to go away with your mommy. You lucky little thing.
You know, I really shouldn't stay much longer. I'm getting nervous about that baby.
You told me he was fast asleep.
Well, he is, but you know, the phone could ring or something and I wouldn't be there to answer it. And Afraid I've got to go.
No, wait, not so fast. You know, we haven't even discussed our next meeting yet.
Well, I'm free as soon as Mr. Swift or Mrs. Saxon gets home. That should be around 6 to 6:30. Want to have dinner tonight?
Unfortunately, tonight I have a prior engagement.
Well, what about tomorrow night? Honestly, I've got to go.
No, wait, just a second. Just give me a minute. I got something to say to you.
Okay, now, what do we need to take with us? Can't take a crib, so you're gonna have to sleep on my couch. Oh, you want this thing? Okay. Here, you can have this. Now, let's get the hell out of here. Okay.
What the hell do you think you're doing?